All right, I want to officially welcome everyone to class. It's the long anticipated professional training on industrial machinery maintenance. Yes, so from wherever you are joining us from Nigeria, outside Nigeria, Abuja, Lagos, Kaduna, Akwa Ibom. I want to officially say welcome to you all, and it's a privilege having you on this professional training. So the course is industrial machinery maintenance, and this training is brought to you courtesy CUC Concept Training Company Limited. All right, I want to assume that we have a couple of some of us here who has been a part of our training at one point or the other. Do we have anyone being a part of our training at some point? Just kindly signify. Just give me a thumbs up, signify. If you've attended any of our classes before, just give me a thumbs up. All right, so if you can hear me, please give me a thumbs up. If you can hear my voice, kindly give me a thumbs up if you can hear my voice. All right, thank you very much. Yeah, I want to be sure that, yes, I have people in the class who can hear me. All right, thank you so much. Yes, Fakoki, yes, thank you so much. Fakoki is joining us from Ghana, and I think he has attended a couple of our classes before. Yes, thank you very much. All right, so I want to say a very big welcome to you all. So this training promises to be very, very, engaging as usual. It promises to be a very, very educating and interesting one. So I want you to please give us your undivided attention while this training is on. So like I did mention, this training is brought to you courtesy CC Context Training Company Limited, like you have it on your display. All right, so CC Concept is a training professional training firm. We are into a couple of professional trainings. So you can see us as a learning platform. So why you are having this training free training is because of we as a company, we are trying to reach our goal, our target of ensuring that, yes, we have desirable outcomes when it comes to financial, when it comes to professional goals, when it comes to company goals. So our target is to ensure that, yes, both individuals and companies meet and that desired outcomes. Hence, how do we do it? Is to give professional trainings that can actually contribute to their productivity, to professionalism of both their personnel and as a company as a whole. So that is why we are bringing out this training. So they have got so good. We have a couple of persons, who has gone through trainings, and today they are actually being heard in their respective fields out there. All right. So I want to say that in today's class, we hope and we aim to achieve the same thing with everyone who is joining, who is coming on board this professional training. So once again, I want to say a very big welcome to you all, and it's great to have you here with us. So my name is Kei Samson Ogumewa. Yes, some persons might be familiar with this space already. So actually an administrative officer and a trainer with CUC Concept Training Company Limited, and I'm going to be your host and moderator for this training. So before we proceed, let's please go to the comment section. I want you also to introduce yourself. Just tell us your name, tell us where you are joining us from, and tell us what your expectation of this training is. So quickly, in the next 1 minute, let's quickly do that. Let's go to the comment section. Introduce yourself. We'd love to know you. We'd love to meet you so that we'll be able to address ourselves properly. So tell us your name, tell us where you are joining us from, and tell us what your expectation of this training is. So we are streaming live on YouTube. We have participants who are joining from the YouTube live channel. So I want to say welcome to you all as well. And I also encourage that you also go to the comment section and introduce yourself. Tell us your name, tell us where you are joining us from, and tell us what your expectation of this training is. So quickly, let us do that in the comment section. Yes, thank you very much, Akewale Brilliance, joining us from those states. Yes, we hope to have sorry, let me try to bring up your message. He hopes to have a rewarding experience in this training. Yes, thank you very much, Diwali Players. Yes, we hope that you are going to achieve that in the course of this training. Yes, so this course is scheduled to hold for 3 days. Yes, industrial machinery maintenance is actually a very, very broad course, and you need to breathe into it, just like the name implies. industrial machinery maintenance. We understand that in our time of this world, one of the things that we combat, that we battle with, is actually maintenance of, you know, of properties, maintenance of equipment, and it's cut across board. The lack of maintenance attitude that we have in our part of this world is really what is one of the factors that is contributing to, to lack of productivity, to downtime, to lack of functionality across various industries. And being that at this May, we have been able to identify this problem, and hence this training on industrial machinery maintenance. So this training is really going to touch on several aspects, on the aspect of functionality, on the aspect of productivity, even to the on the aspect of let me say, reliability of both the individual workers or the corporate body, and it's going to touch on aspects of equipment that we use in order to achieve day-to-day goals or as an organization. So all these areas, how does maintenance affect the productivity of these areas that I've mentioned as as a company, as a firm. So we are going to be looking at a whole lot, like I did mention in this blog. So this training is going to touch on the machinery aspects of both the electrical industrial machinery, mechanical industrial machinery, pneumatic and hydraulic machinery. It's going to touch on the control system and automation machinery maintenance, and it's equally going to touch on industrial maintenance safety. So the maintenance aspects of all these, aspects, all these major engineering aspects are what this course is going to be touching on. So, like the name implies, machinery maintenance, industrial machinery maintenance. So we are not going to be looking much at the nitty-gritty or the working principles of these machines. Of course, as professionals in the field, in the various engineering fields, you should have deep-rooted knowledge of how the operations of this machine works. So what we are really focusing on in the course of this training is the maintenance aspects. What are the nitty-gritty, the things that you need to know, that organizations, that professionals in the field of engineering needs to know in order to be able to achieve the desired results, to encourage productivity, to battle against downtime that is being experienced across the industry. So all these things are what we are going to be bringing together as a whole in the course of this training. All right, so that is what the little brief of what this training, this course is all about. And in today's class, we have very, very wonderful, very, very erudite, with his years of experience. That is, I'm referring to the first person who we are bringing on board. A couple of us actually know him because we've been a part of this class at one point or the other. And in this class, he's going to be sharing with us, out of his wealth of experience. Yes, he has been in the engineering profession for a couple of years now. And yes, his wealth of experience has actually made him an authority in this field when it comes to what delivering, when it comes to teaching on what we need to know as far as maintenance of this machinery, industrial machinery is all about. All right, so it's none other than Mr. James Fanny, who is here with us already, and in a short while we are going to be hearing from him. All right, so I want you to please, while the class is on, please let's give him our own divided attention. All right, so this course is going to last for 3 days. We are going to be starting today, and the course is going to end on Thursday. So we are going to be having 2 hours, intensive 2 hours to the knowledge delivery. So please, we would encourage you to please try as much as possible to be in class. Attendance is very, very important. This is one of the requirements for you to join this class. And we can say that, yes, we are somewhat strict with how we enrolling people into this training, even though the training is free. But what we want is minds, professionals, people who are actually desirous of learning, who actually value the knowledge that you are giving out. And hence, you see that, yes, despite the numbers that you have on the group, on the admission group, we didn't work with that because usually we would have left it and let's just put the link there. But we want serious-minded people to join in this training. And we are taking that serious because in today's class, attendance is very important. If you miss today's class, there's every possibility that you won't be allowed into tomorrow's class. So please, I encourage you, if you have anyone who is not here yet, who is not on board this class, let's encourage them to join in so that they wouldn't miss any aspect of this training. So While the class is ongoing, we are going to be dropping the attendance register. So please, once you get the attendance register in the comment section, please do well to us to click on the link and register your attendance for today's class. The classes, I think you have the class 1, class 2, and class 3 on the attendance sheet. So select the class. Today is class 1. So you should select industrial machinery maintenance class 1 for to get to mark yourself as present in today's class. All right. So once again, I want to say welcome to you all. Okay, let's dive in straight to the business of the day. Yeah, like I did mention, the course is industrial machinery maintenance. All right. So in a short while from now, the next voice you shall be hearing will be that of our resource person, Mr. James Faniyi. All right. Okay, so those joining us on the YouTube platform, if you have any issues with maybe the audio, just notify in the comment section. I will do well to work on that. But first, if you can really hear me, if you are joining us on the YouTube platform, you can hear my voice. Kindly just give me a thumbs up in the comment section. Let me be sure of that. So while that is ongoing, please permit me to switch in between devices so we can begin today's class proper. All right, so a number of us has introduced themselves. Yes, a very big thank you to everyone who has introduced themselves. Yes, Iyare Evans, thank you for joining us. Evans is joining us from Lagos. Mubarak Ipadiola, okay, Godwin Omorege, how do you doing, Kazim? Okay, yes, thank you so much. Yes, and that's just a few people who have introduced themselves. So I expect every other person who are just joining this class to please give us their introduction as well. Tell us your name, tell us where you are joining us from, and tell us what your expectation of this training is. All right. So the next voice we shall be hearing is going to be that of a resource person. So I will encourage that. Let's give him our undivided attention. For anyone who will be having a question, the usual practice is that we are going to be taking questions at the end of the class. So please listen attentively at intervals, maybe while the class is ongoing. The resource person might require you to answer a question when asked. So we'll call on you, we'll give you the opportunity to mute your mic and respond. All right. So let us enjoy the class. Thank you very much, Akombi, for joining us. Pakofi from Ghana, thank you for. All right, so the next voice you shall be hearing will be that of our resource person, Mr. James Faniyi. So, all right, so please permit us to work on the audio. So just give us a few minutes. Let's resolve that. Then we continue with the class. All right. Let's get back to class.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that a lot. So let me first tell you how bulky, explanatory, and detailed our material is. Trust me, this material is a material that on industrial maintenance, I want you to stretch the look across of the internet. Okay, come to realize that what we are sharing with you is actually what go. Okay, Mr. James, are you there? We can't hear you. Okay, in a bit, let me try to see how we can reconnect from Mr. James' side. I'm here with you, sorry. So let me see you raise your hand if you are working in any industry. Like if you are working across any industry, just raise your hand. Just signify by raising your hand. Can we hear me still? Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you. Please go ahead.
Couldn't hear anything.
Okay, so I can see people raising their hands. Okay. Moderator, can you help me to please call people, like 2 people at random? Just pick them up for me. I want to ask some questions. Okay, Akintono Akinwale. Akintono Akinwale. Can you unmute your mic? Akintono, sorry. Yeah, Akintono Akinwale, yeah, that's fine. Yes, I can hear you now. Okay. Sorry, I'm on the. Can you speak freely, or we should call out? Okay, so just listen to the listener. Tell us too much to interact with. At the moment, I work with a plastic company, a packaging company. And we have a special machine and cutting machine. So deal with like everything and everything. I also the recycling of those materials. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm going to go another question. Okay, I'm 10 here. Can you hear me? 10 here. I can hear you. Okay. Simply, I asked the first person where which industry do you work in and the machine that you interact with. Okay. Thank you. My name is Wayne. I also worked in the power industry at a power plant generation, power plant generation segment. I was building a power plant and using gas generators and then turbine of medium sizes. And then I later moved to gas where I was in pattern construction. And then now moving to the facility maintenance industry, mainly operational maintenance. Thank you. Okay, thank you so much. Anybody
Hello, good evening.
Okay, that's fine. Good evening. So, which one did you know what I mean?
I'm working at Nova Care Limited.
Can you come again? Can you do that again?
Nova Care Limited.
So, what are they into?
Okay. I'm not working with people that are using other machines. I work in an office. I work with I use AutoCAD. I'm never architecture. So can you
Okay. Yes, yes, it is. You can.
yes,
Okay.
I'm a never architecture. I don't work with machines. Yes, sir. Yes.
So you are just familiar with the
Yes,
machine.
I use some jobs. I'm able to supervise
Familiar
what
with
we
the
are
machine,
doing
so that,
sometimes.
yeah. Mhm.
Sir?
I get the nature of the job. I understand. I understand the nature of the job. I understand.
Yes, but if you see
Thank
the
you.
machine
Thank
inside there, I
you.
was
So,
just like machine. Okay, thank you. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. So let's move on. Let's move on. So please, I hope everyone can see my screen. I hope you can all see my screen.
Yeah.
Let's go to my material. Thank you so much. So let's first look at industrial machines. Let's look at some industries and let's explore the kind of machines that they actually want interact with. So we'll now come back to really explain what maintenance is all about, and then we introduce the course, and then we see how far we can go tonight. So,
Material, go ahead. Do you make material in the landscape home? Can you hear me, sir?
Maybe it is not visible.
It's kind of not visible. Yes.
Maybe it is not visible.
Okay. That's fine. It's fine now.
Is it better?
Yes. Okay. Thank you, sir. You can go ahead.
So, all right. Okay. So let's look at the material handling equipment. So we have cranes, we have forklifts. Of course, we know what crane is used for. Crane. We use a crane for lifting and moving every materials. So I was actually asking also that I will know some set of people that we have here, but so we know forklift is being, you can use forklift in within a workshop, just to move material from one, just like transporting material within the factory. So from one spot to another, we have machining tools. And of course, there are some industries that use conveyors. Let me show the picture of some of these. So this is an example of crane. Okay, this is a crane. It is used for lift. So this is forklift. So what I'm talking about, you can relate to what I'm talking about. So this, you must have seen this, or maybe they make it of it in your factory also, not to transport material from one spot to another. So I make mention of another one, conveyors. As do you see any product manufacturing company that do not have conveyors? So conveyors, they are being conveyor belts, or you can, some of them are like in chain. So you will see them in production line to move material, transport material, from the either you are from the packing plant to the immediate or to the vehicle where you want to attend your food, when you show up in that. So these are the events. We have been to airports before when the luggages are being brought. Okay, so they actually put in conveyors. So, and in the factory also, you must have seen these are examples. You can see some of these materials on the desk. So the conveyor belt transport them from the packing spot to the moving spot in this case. So it's move material from one spot to another. We have machinery tools. Some of the posts that I've seen this before, computer numerical control. So they are used for precision cutting. Okay, when you want to give a very great deal of accuracy, cutting what metals or plastic. Some of them are also used for drilling or shaping materials. Let me see if I've got you a picture of that. Okay, so you have an example of CNC. Okay, so you can see some of them they are being used to actually what kind of drilling. We use some of them for cutting. Okay, these are examples of such machines. We also have lathe machines. We have machines across our institutions. I know the common machines in the lab is always used machine, especially for the mechanical guys. So we have welding machines, we have press bricks machine. I think I showed you an example of I have a picture of press brick here. Let me show you that. So this is a press brick. Okay, this is a press brick. So we use it to press metal into desired metal sheet into desired shapes. So the shape that you want, you can actually use those machines to press them into that particular shape. We have cutting machines. Okay, we have power generation equipment like the one that my friend that came up to talk about that is working in a power plant. So he will actually be familiar with what a lot of that, talking about the turbines, okay, for the generation of power and all that. And compressors. How do you see an automated plant when you don't have compressors? Because when you are making use of pneumatic systems, or there are some machines that are powered by air, which is an automatic system, power generation. So we have compressors, okay, which actually produce the compressors air or pumps. So most of us must have interacted with some of these as engineers, especially they are working in the electrical aspect of the company. We have packaging machineries. So these are used for packaging. For those people that are working in companies where they have to label the products, they have to put them in can and all that. So we have filling machines. So this one actually will feed the content into the containers. They are working in bottling companies, they are Coca-Cola, Pepsi. So they have interacted with some of these machines. So filling machines. They are also labeling machines. So these automatically put labels on the products. Okay. So these are for us to actually know how broad, because they have an hand is. And definitely I must tell you that can be doing your own aspect of work, in your company, so that when you are interacting with machines, even though you are in care of your automation and all that, this course is actually it actually gets you covered. It will actually open your eyes to so many things, about maintenance, and also gets you, trained and prepared to be a better, to engage in better maintenance culture. So we have we have a sewing machine also. Those ones they actually use to actually sew. If we are working in some people that have worked in such a water company before that we call pure water, pure water company. So most of those nylon, the machine that seal that close the mouth, okay, we call them sewing machines. So we make use of heat. So through that we can apply heat to those nylon and then we cut them. I've worked in a pure water company before, so I can actually sewing machines. So we also have heavy construction equipment like excavators. Most of us must have seen this before. We have bulldozers. I think I have pictures of excavator as well. Okay, so this is an excavator. Okay, an excavator. So for digging and moving large amount of what earth. So that's excavator. So all these machines, you will not function well, or you will not have their reliability or an accurate reliability on them if the is not being put in place. So it is the maintenance of all these machines that we actually was looking at. That is why you see the course being tagged industrial machinery maintenance. So we have bulldozers. So those ones are heavy machines for pushing large quantities of soil. So you see that as so if normally, we call it what bulldozer, but when you see an excavator, when you see a bulldozer, so this is an example of a bulldozer. To pack. While excavator will dig the earth, this actually was pack it. So if pack it, you can see that a bulldozer is actually what, look at the arm is shorter. Not for you to pack what you have already done out, and you do it for one spot to another. So you see the loader. How you will differentiate a loader from this is that you see the arm of the loader being long. This is the loader. This one I will not be what, taking it and moving it into truck. That's what you do with it. Let to keep it in the truck. So you see this. Okay. These are examples of what loader. So we also have machines, the robotics and automation work equipment. So industrial robots, we have industrial robots, we have AGVs. Most of us must have, seen AGV just like in video. So the industry can make use of this. They are just mobile robots that transport materials in warehouses. So you can use them without human intervention. So you can complain that maybe they are tired, you see that or maybe it's not really that effective using humans. They need to tap these things and to move them from one spot to another. So actually use your AGV. Okay. And as you say, I want to go and drink, I want to eat. So actually not say so. But if you take their maintenance, okay, you need the proper maintenance, that's when you can actually have what a good reliability. So these are examples of AGV and so from one spot to another in the industry. So you can see these are examples of them. So then we should example of them. So I'm actually kind of going through different industries now. So you can see that no matter the big industry, I will ask you a question. Instead of the example of the national given, so that you can actually then I can extend into that from so that's all the HVAC equipment we call heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. So these are HVAC equipment. Okay, so we have industrial boilers, we have industrial air conditioners. Okay, under these categories. So let me show you an example of HVAC. That include the units in the company that deals with what? That place has to be chilled, like it has to be very cold. We call it centralized AC. That's the so we call it centralized AC. So it's not like centralized. Let me show you the sense of the so you can see this. So it's the system. Okay, it means that particular place has to be very, very cold. Or if you are into products that they have to be to be produced the most temperature. Almost like a freezing temperature. That cooling effect has to be fine. Some of those equipment, some of those machines. We have agricultural machinery, like tractors, like combiner harvesters, like irrigation systems. Okay, those are also machine that comes in the cultural sector. We have printing and textile machinery. Okay, printing presses. If you have not seen this before, you must have heard about what printing press before. So machines, printing presses, these are that produce the production of printed materials in large quantities. Textile machinery, food processing machinery, like mixers and blenders. For those people that are into small scale baking here, they will doing it in the light work skills. So we have mixers, we have blenders, all these must be maintained. We have extruders. Extruders are used to, when some that you want to ship, you want to bring them out in a particular shapes. These are those that the people that extruder do. Something like that, pasta, some snacks and all that. You have a picture, an extruder, okay, an extruder, okay, this is an extruder, okay, this is an extruder. So you can see this, okay, look at this. So there are some of your, maybe you see some biscuits that, or some chocolate that they come up in a particular shape. Some of them that it's just and for them like that, flat things. So some of these is not achieved by extruder. So those who are into food processing will understand Strangers, okay, those ones are they are used to produce in food and beverages. So that when you store them, they can actually stay for a longer time. So pathogens are like bacteria or viruses that can actually spoil that particular product. So when they produce that particular food or beverages, they have to use pasteurizers to just eliminate some of the pathogens and extend the lifespan of that material. So this is what we have. I've just taken my time to go through some of the machines so that anybody going through this training will actually covered. So let me ask us this question now. If you know that your industry is not covered, can I see your hands up? I doubt. Or perhaps we may have. Anyone here whose industry, oh, thank you so much. I'm apologizing before the moderator will even call you to speak. I'm already apologizing. Thank you. Don't worry, it's just not just cited, but this is just to give us like a brief overview of machines. But I will allow you to talk. This much Kushi, not Kusi. I hope I didn't murder that name. Can you unmute your mic? Okay, thank you very much. Good evening. Can you speak? I can't hear your voice. Yeah, some horrible. Nevertheless, if you can hear me, just what industry do you work in right now? Hello. Okay, how do you now? Yeah, how do you? Can you hear me very well now? Yes, we can. I can hear you. I can hear you. Huh? I can hear you. There is the renewable energy engineering actually, and the distribution of these energies. We normally use control panels. And that's the area I was expecting for him to mention. And the control panel deals with control of the connection of the breakers. So that was the area I was expecting him to mention, which I didn't hear. Think about the aspect of the automation aspect. That's you correctly. Yeah, thank you so much. Can you hear me? Yes, we can hear you. Can you hear me? Yes, we can. Okay, thank you so much. Yes, I actually mentioned the automation, as a category. But if you look at all the other aspects of engineering that I mentioned also, there's no way we can exhaust all their machines. We are just listing like 2 or 3 machines. So if you are talking about automations, you talk about PLC, which is part of the, maintenance of PLC is part of the thing that we are going to cover. So programmable logic controller that is actually being used to really achieve automation across industry. So of course, we can't talk about automation today without mentioning what PLC. So that's taken. Thank you so much for bringing that up to my notice. Okay, so you can see me. I'm actually I'm using a draw account just to back up in case any of my account actually go off, so that there won't be any break in our transmission. That's why I'm actually doing this. So if you can hear me, let's actually move on. Let's move on to the training. So we have extensively discussed, the industries and some machines across this world industry. Now we begin to actually talk about the principles of machine operation. What is actually the principle of machine operation? Because it's very important for us to really focus on this. So if we understand the principle of machine operation, so it will help us to really value or understand better what we are discussing in this particular course. So there are what we call pre-operation checks when it comes to maintenance. There are what we call pre-operation checks. But before I go into that, I think we should have some analysis of what maintenance is. Maintenance actually helps us to keep the machine in good shape. Maintenance is necessary in industrial machineries so that our machines can actually be kept in a good condition. Maintenance is necessary in industry so that we can achieve reliability, a good reliability, and a good availability on the machines being used. Don't forget that one of the greatest enemies across every industry is downtime. In fact, I remember then that anytime we want to do a morning briefing, in one of the industries I've worked, I've worked in so many industries, I can just be using the example when it comes up. So one thing they normally tell us is that, our GM, we address us this way that, okay, you are welcome to work today. I hope you guys are doing great with your family. So today we have an enemy facing us, and this enemy is downtime. The enemy of production or effective production is always downtime. And what is downtime? Downtime only occurs when our machines pack up, when there is a machine failure. And in most cases, the failure in machines are really being caused by our failure in the aspect of maintenance. Maintenance begins even domestically. And that's why you see that as a maintenance engineer or a maintenance employee, if you find yourself in the maintenance department and you have a poor maintenance culture, definitely it's going to actually affect the way you carry out that job. Judging from the way some of us maintain our gadgets, the way you maintain those things that you have, maybe you have just 2 or 3 pair of shoes, the maintenance you carry out on them, how you take good care of them, that even people may not even notice that you do not have more than 3 shoes. There are people that they can have even 16 pairs of shoes or 20 pairs of shoes. And trust me, the way they will use all this, it will not even amount to 1. And you will see somebody with just 2 pairs or 3 pairs, the maintenance they carry out on it, the way they, somebody was telling me one day, relating with me, a friend, and he was telling me that he was showing me the shoes. That this is my party, one of my party shoes, and that he doesn't have more than 3 of them. That as he's getting home right now, no matter how tired he is, he has to remove the shoes, clean it, no matter how tired, and make sure that he places it where the odor and everything, there will be some ventilation on it, so that it will be in good shape
in case they want to wear it the following day or anything whatsoever. That's a good maintenance culture. Okay, so when you translate this into industry, you will see some people, they will handle a particular machine, you will place the machine under them, and then you will see that machine in good shape. And the same machine being handed over to another person, you will see that the machine is already in bad shape. In most cases, people blame the manufacturer, whereas most of the problems comes from the operator or the maintenance engineer that is in charge of it. If you are not exposed to this line, let me first tell you that when you are working in industry, there are people we call operation, workers, and there are some people that we call maintenance workers. I've worked in both departments. I will call it a department, but it's not really a department like that. If you have electrical, for example, let me give you an example. If you have an electrical department in some industry, you have an electrical department, you have automation department, you have a mechanical department, you have process department. So there are some industry that have more than that. I'm just giving you an example. So in the electrical department, take for instance, there will be some of the electrical personnel in charge of maintenance, and there will be some of these electrical personnel in charge of operations. What does the operation actually do? Operation is that they are the one operating the machines so that we can meet up with daily operations. What is the maintenance guys doing? They are the one ensuring that the machines are in good shape so that they can perform what the operators want to use them to do. On the training. Somebody talk right now. The operators. Okay, thank you. The operators operate the machines. The maintenance guys, they put it in place. They put the machines in place. I will still talk about, there are some, kind of maintenance that the operational guys also perform on the machines. In the course of the training, I'm going to actually briefly talk about what's that. Now, let us go back to it. Now that we understand what maintenance is, that it's actually the focus of maintenance. Forget about theory or anything else. I only tell people, you're not coming here for me to be telling you what is maintenance or what is this. That's not why we are here to actually bring this to the practical application. And we must use the simplest terms to explain what we are talking about and not to blow grammar. So what maintenance is focused. Maintenance is focused at putting our machines in good shape. And more times you will think that it does not have effect on you as an employee, but that's a very, very big lie. When a machine is not in good shape, aside the fact that the company is actually losing based on that time, you are in a greater risk as an employee. Your life is at risk, and even the life of fellow employees are at risk. That is why performing a good maintenance on machines does not only favor the company, but it actually favor you, aside from the integrity, aside from your personality. What about the safety aspect of it? Of course, the MD will hardly come and interact with this machine. You and fellow employees are the one touching it, operating it, doing one or two things on it. So the effect will actually be on you. Now, let's start with pre-operational checks. What are the pre-operational checks? Pre-operational check that is actually telling us on things to do before a machine begins to operate. What are the things to do before a machine begins to operate? Maintenance starts with pre-operation checks. Now, the first thing is for you to be able to read and understand the machine manual and safety guidelines. And this is what I will tell you that an average African person, sometimes, many times, with few people that I've known, okay, even for somebody like me, at a point, I have to just adjust. I would tell you that it took me a long while before I could read the manual of my car. That is when I knew that, there is a great danger you can do to yourself if you are using a machine without going through the manual. Many of us, we do this a lot. Only will you see a machine that when you unpack it, you will not see what the manual. Then what do? We throw the manual what away, and we try doing what trial and error on the machines. But in the manual, you will be able to actually what know the machines and know the prescriptions and the recommendations of the manufacturer. So no matter how simple the machine looks like, it is very imperative and important for an operator, somebody that will interact with that machine, to really have access to reading the manual and ensure that what you understand the manual. Of course, in the manual, you will have what the part of the machine being labeled. You will see the functionality of the part of the machines, and you will see clearly the kind of maintenance you have to carry out. So the pre-operation check is very important that what you read and understand what the machine manual and safety what guidelines. You see that how to safely what use the machine will be specifically what mentioned in the manual. Another thing is that it is very good that the person that will operate this machine should be properly what trained, and it should have what an authorization to operate that kind of machine. In your factory, a machine that you are not the one, you are not the operator of that machine, or you do not interact, like my friend that said she worked in the her work is in the office, like to control, but sometimes she only move to field to go and inspect what they are doing. Our work is not to operate. Our work is to actually what inspect, or check if they are working, and if this machine or the other is actually what functioning. That is what she needs to actually what do. So you are not to interact with the machine that you are not trained on. I watched a funny video of this comedian. He was trying to work on some wire, wanted to connect them, and the father called out to him, say, won't you wait for an electrician? Say, Dad, am I not an engineering student? And as he was just speaking, the wire just the light touched the neutral, and he had a very big spark, and he went transfixed, and he was like, oh, father, I will wait for the electrician. So that's on a lighter note. But what we are saying is that you are not to interact with the machine with just being overconfident that you can operate it. So if you are not trained, do not. So we need to train the operator of the machines, and he needs to get the correct authorization. Before you set a machine into operation, please conduct a visual inspection of the machines and its components. Even if you have used that machine yesterday and you are to operate it today, conduct a visual inspection. What do we say a visual inspection is? Visual inspection is just that you have not even powered the machine. Go around. Just like people that drive and park their cars where children play in lots. God forbid, I've seen some of those funny pictures. You see some children, very funny. They'll just go under the tire. That's where it's actually playing. So imagine if you do not carry out a visual inspection before some people just dash into their car and you don't go around to know whether some people are behind the car, or a baby is behind the car that your mirror cannot sight, or somebody is standing at your blind spot. We call it blind spot in driving, that you cannot see. You do not look around that place. You just park the car and then you zoom. Just imagine that kind of horrible incident. God forbid. That's exactly what it is like when you do not conduct a visual inspection. For those people that did our safety training, I gave you an example of a very bad incident in a particular company. This is a life story. The operator came, resume work in the morning. This is the company where they do not work all night. So they will close, and then the following morning they will resume operation. So, and there are some industries that normally attach a machine to a person, like you know that this is your own machine. You are the one operating this machine. So the operator did not, when he was entering, his machine is actually far from the entrance. But for many of us that actually operate machine, I want to really explain how the control, the push button actually works. there are sometimes that when you are, they will make it available that on your machine, you can start your machine. Like there are ways you can start your machine when you are with the machine. You can also remote start the machine. Like there may be a push button far off that you can also use to power up the machine. So the man did not go to where the machine was to actually inspect it, to carry out this visual inspection that we are talking about. He just power up the machine. And unfortunately, the cleaner was actually at the machine, cleaning the machine. And her head was directly under the cutting blade. She died. That was a very terrible story. So the purpose of conducting the visual inspection is for you to actually see some physical damages and for you to see, the dangers to the safety of even you yourself that want to operate the machine. So check for any damage, wear or malfunctions on the machine. Even before you actually set it into operation, you have to check and be sure that the machine is actually in good shape. And then make sure that all the safety features are also functioning properly. Many people like this a lot. They just start everything. They will say bypass it. That's the terms across the industry. When you say this thing has spoiled on this machine, you say, okay, can you bypass it? Can it still work? Okay, it can work. You bypass it. So you bypass almost all the sensors on the machine. So what we allow to you when the machine is not in good condition, it's just like your body system. That's how machines are. Machines are built like human body system. Okay, your brain is actually there. Your nerves are actually there to alert you that something is going on. When it is not well with your stomach, you have to have what we call stomach upset or stomach ache. Your brain will actually sense it and will let you know that there is a trouble inside your stomach. When somebody is talking, your ear will pick the signal. When something is smelling, which could actually be a wire burning in your house or anywhere, your nose will give you the trigger. Okay? When something is hot that you must not touch, if your skin touch it, you will actually feel the sensation. So these are the sensors, sense organs in your body. Likewise, the machine also. You have a thermostat that is not working properly on the machine, they say bypass it. You have a proximity sensor that is not working on the machine, you bypass it. You have the pressure gauge that is not working on the machine, you bypass it. So what we tell you, when the pressure is too much in the machine or when the temperature is too high, how are you going to know as a worker? So all these are, pre-operation checks that must actually be carried out on the machine. Now, the next thing for us to discuss is the safety principles. The safety principles of machines. You need to know that it is wrong for you to operate a machine without knowing the hazards that are attached to that machine. This is part of the things that will help you in your maintenance culture. You need to understand. So it's just like you going to war without knowing your opponents. You need to be able to know your opponents or know your enemy's strengths and weaknesses. So when you're working with a machine, this is not a human being. That perhaps if you want to cut your hand, you say, please, don't cut my hand. And the person can stop and say, oh, sorry, I didn't know that your hand is there. It is a machine, for crying out loud. So working on a machine without you as a person knowing the hazards that are attached to that machine is against the maintenance culture across industries. Unfortunately, what I'm talking about might not really be something that you are saying in your staff handbook or your GM is telling you, because I will tell you that many of our industries will focus on just getting the results. Whether you put your life in danger or not, it is up to you or perhaps sanction you for not following safety protocols. Some companies will look away, even after you are giving them the results. If you like, use your hand as the burning, as the fire. In as much the product will burn and everything will be okay. Some company may actually look away. But trust me, you that know that this aspect I'm talking about as a machine, this aspect of a machine affects you directly if you are interacting with machines across the industry, you need to understand the safety principles of machine operations. And the first thing that you need to actually note is that what you should, as a worker, be able to know the proper PPE that you need to use when you are working your machine. Either you are carrying out maintenance, either you are operating it, PPE is actually what applicable. I have seen where people take a lotto on the. I'm going to be sharing some of these experiences where people take a lotto that log out on a particular machine, and properly they are working on the machine, they are carrying out maintenance. But the lotto expired, the boss didn't cover up, he didn't finish what the maintenance, and he was reluctant to actually go for another lotto, because he knows that what is going to be sanctioned for it. So what they want to do, he wanted to use the subordinate so that what they can quickly do is like, if they are performing maintenance on a live machine. Okay, the machine just broke down and they quickly want to do a fast job on it. So the subordinate didn't know, the junior engineer didn't know, but the senior engineer had to be he was an Indian man who was just telling him what to do and everything. And it was only God that saved his life, because on the spot the machine was started, because this is a company that is fully automated. So they started the machine from the control room, and had they been it's not for God, another thing could have happened to him. So safety principles is very important, and the fourth thing is that you must know the correct PPE to use. In most of our maintenance, we use gloves, whether you are working, whether it's electrical work or mechanical work. Glove is applicable. Okay, safety glasses are applicable. The earplugs are applicable. If you know that there is going to be a large noise, especially those that are mechanical among us that do mechanical maintenance, clinging of metals, some will be using hammer to actually bring out a particular nut or anything like that. These are noises that when you expose your eardrum to them, over time, we call it ergonomic hazard in safety. So you begin to lose a good sense of hearing. You will not know. It is just an accumulated hazard, okay, that will affect you in the long run. So another thing is for you to keep loose clothing and long hair, tight bags. This is very important. I have seen people across industries while visiting on inspections, and even those where I've worked before, they will remove their coverall. They will remove their hand inside their coverall, and the hands, the sleeves of the coverall will be dangling. Okay, it will not be hanging around their waist. Trust me, if you move around a conveyor belt like that, and unfortunately for you, if the conveyor belt should get entangled with just that sleeve of that your coverall, that is all. Because it's either you pray that the coverall should tear, and then you get loose from the machine. Like the machine should just tear the cloth so that the cloth will tear off, and then you become free. But if that coverall is made of a good material that it could not tear, trust me, if you have seen where a conveyor belt accident happened before, you will never pray for such. So it is good for you to know that loose clothing will lead to entanglement. You do a long attachment, that is not for you to move around the factory. Whether you are in the machine session or not, once you are entering the factory, the sense of safety should actually come into your mind. So you pack everything well. I recall that then we have a general culture. You will not see a good factory engineer or a good factory worker or industrial worker who is actually interacting with machines, wearing things like jewelry, wristwatch and all that. Because all these, a machine can actually entangle with them. And if you're an electrical person, that is metal. Metal around you can actually be so dangerous for you in case of contact with exposed wire or anything like that. Another thing is about area clean and organized. It's very important. It's part of maintenance culture. I recall then my boss back then in Dangote, you know, he has his own personal toolbox. And what this man does is that anytime we are going for work, because he believes in his own toolbox very well, everything we are looking for will be there. But sometimes, you know, because of poor maintenance, so people will carry the company tools. When they will go and work, they will forget that 30 spanner. They will not pack it into the box. So they will forget 30 spanner on the spot. And that's how we will not see 30 spanner again. They may go another 3 days, they will forget the socket spanner. They will not put it in the box. So you will just carry the box that you want to go and work. You get where you want to work. You see that you need a socket spanner. You look for it, you can't get it. So that's why my boss, anytime he's coming to work, I enjoy working with him a lot. He will bring his own personal tools. So we don't even normally touch the company tools. So because it's his own personal tools, this is his room. No matter how tired we are, after resolving the fault and everything, trust me, you will clean the tools one by one. All the oil, all the dirt on it, we will clean one by one, set it inside the box properly, then close it before we can leave. That I learned that from him, because if you don't pack that tool very well, it's going to actually tell on your next job that you're going to have. You can imagine you looking for 30 spanner and then you cannot find. And the company is actually they are shouting, they are receiving call from the walkie-talkie, they are shouting the name of electrical. There is that time to bring up these machines, and then you couldn't do anything just because you do not have the tools. So you try as much as possible to get yourself organized and clean the environment and clean your tools. Be aware of your surroundings and avoid distractions. This is part of maintenance in industry. Avoid distractions. When you are working, especially those that that's why I said that you have to understand the hazard that is attached to the machines. If you know that the machines that you are operating or that you are working on, it has a tendency of cutting any part of your body. Why should you be distracted when working with that kind of machine? When you know that if you forget your hand inside it, like those people that work in printing press where they will have to cut all these log of paper and all that. If your hand is inside that thing, this blade will cut it like a piece of paper. It won't be hard at all. It won't even feel the load of your hand in there. So you avoid distractions while working on machines. Now let's move to talking about machine setup and preparations. It is always important that every machine should be well assembled and installed. I've seen this problem across industry. Then you will have there are some electric motors that the stand where they mounted them on is already shaking. So just imagine that this electric motor is actually driving a vet. So if you driving a vet and the base is not rigid, what do you think will happen? It will increase the vibration. It will affect the alignment of the belt. And that is why when we are talking about the installation is different from being well assembled. So a machine should be well assembled. It's just like you fixing a bulb you fix a bulb on a lamp holder that is not screwed. Of course, you may not have correct illumination because the lamp holder may dangle in an angular form and it will not give you correct illuminations. So I'm using that so that theoretically you can relate what I'm talking about. So you have to, or you want to drive your car and the bolts are not tight. The bolt of the tire, you do not tighten it very well. Okay, so it has to be well assembled, and aside that, it has to be well installed. Every machine needs to be well installed before you even talk about maintenance. Maintenance starts with you putting the machine in a good form by correct installation. And what do we call correct installation? I don't know. In your mechanical, and everything, you can look at your fuse. Are you able to spot some of the machines that you can see that they are not well installed? It starts with that ability for you to reach a place, because they can call you for a machine failure, and then the actual problem might actually be that the machine itself is not properly installed. That might be the problem. So every machine should be properly installed. Another thing is that make sure that you follow the manufacturer's instructions for setup and calibrations. There are some machines that they normally want to calibrate them before they. I have this experience when I was working in the telecommunication industry. There was a time they wanted to change all our generators. They wanted to change all our generators from AC gen to DC gen. Okay, and why are they changing them to DC gen? Because our company actually partner with another company which is into the generation and the building of this generator. They actually built them here in Nigeria. So we don't know the condition of the partnership, but they wanted to change all our generator in our site. All these MTN masts that you normally see around. That's where I work. I have about 28 under me then, and they have to change all this generator. Now the problem we had with this generator is the calibration, because you have to set everything, the temperature, the tripping temperature, everything. It has a panel on which you have to set everything. There is a predetermined temperature you will set that, if the temperature is up to this extent, the machine actually was shut down, because you want to protect the machine itself. It's just like your car, okay? These are sensors. So if your car heats up to a particular temperature, that definitely the manufacturer know that it will cause a very big damage to your car. What will happen? You will see it there that this is actually the temperature is too much, because it can lead to fire. So the proper thing is that you have to shut the car down. So if you do not follow the instructions of the manufacturer in the calibrations, you begin to have issues. You just be saying that there will be failure. The mean time before failure will be low. We're going to calculate all that tonight. So when you see those calculations, then you understand what I'm talking about. But those things would have been cited by the manufacturer for you to know the reliability of the machines. So you may think that the machine is not reliable if you do not follow the calibrations. So people normally do that. They say that the cutoff temperature, maybe the cutoff stage of this is that whenever 20 ampere of current flow through this thing, it has already become overload. So instead of you to actually leave it like that, the machine should trip at that current. So people, because they want the machine they want to run that machine. They want the machine to actually do the job. What will they do? They will set it to 25. You can imagine. In the manufacturer's specification, in putting 20, you set it to 25. So the machine that's supposed to trip when it is already maybe 20 degrees Celsius or 20 ampere of current. We'll see 20 ampere as a current consumption, and we continue running until it now reach 25. Whereas the manufacturer, if you run a machine that have that normally operate before the downtime, maybe it normally operate like 7 hours. Lifestyle will not be reducing. It will not be able to meet up with 7 hours a day. It will be meeting up with 5, and then before you know it, the lifespan of running to 12 hours will reduce to 3 and all that. These are part of the problems, that we normally commit when it comes to following the calibrations, being instructed by the manufacturer. Another thing is that you hardly see a machine that does not have moving parts. Hardly will you see a machine. Hardly. I'm talking of, in fact, even except the one that is not using electrical, if it's not using, hardly will you see across industry. Okay? Even if it's not using that, if the actual machine is not using that, the motor that is driving it, that machine is using, it has moving parts. And that is why, when it comes to lubrication, when it comes to you checking the fluid levels of machines, you have to prioritize it. Checking the oil, checking the coolant. I will tell you a lot of horrible things that I have seen across industry, and people will think that they are smart. Manufacturers, they already told you that in every 10 days, they did not say top up the oil. They said change the oil completely. You will see our Nigerian engineers, what will they do? rather than for them to change the oil completely, what they will be doing is to be checking the viscosity of the oil. They say, the oil is still good now. Whereas the company has released what the oil they're supposed to use to change. They're supposed to change into that machine. Okay? So they will now be touching that the oil is still okay now. What they want to do, they want to sell the oil. So instead of them to change the old one that is there, they will top it up. And you top up the oil, okay? Meanwhile, not knowing that what there is a lot of work that oil is even doing. Aside from being serving as coolants, there are some machines that they are being washed by the oil that you even put in them because of some parts where death must not actually debris, broken, due to wear and tears that might have happened. Those filings that must not get to some part of the machine. So you put correct oil, okay, and you follow it. Definitely, the machine, aside from being operating at normal temperature, it will also be working without dirt, being clogging. It will affect or it will avoid some clogging of dirt, in some part of the machine. Another thing is that we need to actually ensure that all tools and accessories are properly attached. When we're talking about this, we're talking about you checking the bolts and nuts of every machine and make sure that they are well tightened. Many of us, when we use our four-way spanner, I'm giving an example for those who that drive among us. If you use your car, you are tying it down. Why is it that after you have used your strength to tie it down, some people will still use their leg. They will use it on that four-way spanner to ensure that it is well tightened because they know the repercussion. God forbid of your tire bolt, getting loose while you are on speed. Of course, it's a terrible thing that nobody pray for. So when you are using a machine, every part of the machine that should actually be joined together must be properly tightened. All the accessories must be attached, well attached, on parts. Okay? Before you run your machine, conduct a trial run so that you can ensure that the machine is actually working fine. Before you even load it, that's what we're talking about. Before you load the machine, it is good that even a machine that you operated yesterday, before you load it today, power it up as an operator. Is a normal way for you to actually welcome the job to another day. Power it up, let it run, let it just warm up. Okay. Now, what will this allow you to do? It will allow you to listen to how the machine works on no load. Because there is a way you will listen to or observe the way the machine actually sounds when it is on no load, okay, and when it is on on load. It will tell you that maybe something is wrong. When you run it on no load, you'll be able to hear some clinking sound that may show whether some parts are actually touching or noise and all that. When you load it, you may not know. When you think that it is because you have mounted load on it. But when it's on no load, you can easily pay attention because it is not loaded yet. So if there are some unusual noise, definitely you'll be able to spot it out. So it is imperative for us to now discuss operation principles. Now that we have exhausted pre-operation. When you are starting your machine, please, a machine should be started according to the manufacturer instruction. Many people don't follow this. Except if you read your manual. Let me give you an instance. I've started my car in the wrong way, many times without number. Before I actually saw it that I was doing it in the wrong way. Is it through the manual or somebody actually talked to me about it? Many of us, if we want to start our machine, our car, let me give an instance. You only just take the key. Once you put the key, a specification on how the machine should be started. But many of us, because we just know where the power button is, you just think that you can just power up the machine anyhow. Of course, the machine will work. But what you will not know is that you are damaging the lifespan of that machine. You will not be able to achieve it. You won't be able to achieve the lifespan of that machine. So when starting my car, I only take it from no ignition and to full ignition. Within I'm no stopping. But the key is supposed to have been taken to a partial start. It may just be a transition time. But You have to take it to the partial start where the light will only come up. The vehicle has not, the engine has not really started. You just be like, you know, when we take you to that one partial start, your radio, your, you know, all those electrical gadgets can actually work before you not take it to full ignition for the engine to work start. But for me, over time, you know, I just take like that, just to full ignition. And then what will that actually would do? It will your brush, it will affect your brush, it will affect your kick. Okay, over time, you will not know that what you actually was causing damages. Whereas most things that happen, it is because of your lack of what maintenance, what good maintenance culture. So every machine you must follow how to what actually start what a machine. It's very important. But for example, there are some machines that you must not start on load. You have to start them on no load. In fact, most of the machines. So you don't start the machine when it is already loaded. When there is no load attached, then you start your machines. There are many people that they will have changed their generator down. They have already changed their changeover. They have changed it to what to normal gen load, and then they go and start generator. So what are they doing? They are starting the gen on load, and that we have the machine, the generator may struggle, start and pick up, no problem. They will think that they are smart, but over time, it will affect the lifespan of that was gen. That is what most of us do to industrial machines. So when starting what the gen, what the normal starting procedure, it should be on no load so that it will start and run free. And then before you even walk to where you're going to change it over, at least 1 minute, it has already run for like 1 minute. All the flux as the magnetic flux have already been built up properly. And then what you change it to load, you see that it will stabilize. And when stopping your when you want to put up your gen, it is also normal that you should also put it on no load, okay? Remove the load and then go and stop it. So people will still stop the gen while it is still on load. I'll give you an example of that. So you need to start the gen or start your machines, in line with the instruction of the manufacturer. Then you monitor the machine's performance. When you have started your machine and it's not working, it is very imperative as an operator or as a worker that is interacting with that machine to not leave your machine to just be running. Pay attention, okay, to the way it's working to know whether there will be some adjustment that you have to actually do. Most of us that go to these guys that normally grind their pepper, you will see them, okay, when they have started the grinder, it might be working. At the time, they will be adjusting so that they are listening to the sound. You will listen to a machine that is actually struggling. You know that this machine is struggling to work or is forcing itself to actually work. So there may be some adjustment that you need to actually do. Okay, so avoid overloading or overworking your machines. This happens in so many industries. Okay, overloading and overworking the machines. You just want the machine to continue running. I'm giving us an example of this. Okay, it is very, very important that you don't overload machine. If you think that you can do that, what will happen is that it will affect the lifespan. It's just like human being. If you are carrying the load that is more than you, of course, you know that you are damaging your system. You will damage your system. We do this in economic hazard. For those that normally bend down to carry load, bend down and carry load, bend down and carry load. Whether you like it or not, over time it will be as if they have hunchback. And that's the effect of what they have been doing, for a very long time. Okay, maintain control of the machines all the time. Make sure that you are not out of the control. Don't really be out of sight. Okay, you should know how long you can leave a machine to work, and not that you start your machine and then you are gossiping with a fellow employee, and then you don't know that something is already going on. So let's talk about the control and monitoring machines when you are operating your machines. Okay, to monitor you need to understand the machine's controls and instruments. It is very important. What are the control on your machines? Does it have a thermometer? Does it have a pressure gauge on your machines? So that you can actually monitor all these things. The speed of your machines, Okay, the temperature of your machine, like I was using the example of your car for you. Of course, you hardly see somebody that is actually driving. Yes, it's not good for you to be looking at your dashboard, but sometimes, you know, many of us, you know, you just glance at your dashboard. Not really see. Either you are looking at the level of your the gauge of your fuel, and while glancing at that, there's no way you will not see what the temperature meter. Okay, or you want to look at how much of speed, you know, on. So you want to check, you glance through most, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. What the machines. So you need to actually know, you know, the temperature, the allowable temperature that your machine is allowed to actually run on, the pressure that the normal temperature that the normal pressure for your machine, and all these will help you to actually know when the machine is malfunctioning and when it is functioning properly. So this is very, very important. Machine settings should be adjusted until you have an optimal performance. It's very important. One of the things that you need to watch out for while you are using your machines, especially when you are performing maintenance, is for you to check the wears and damages on the machines. Checking this will actually help you to know if there is a problem, because over time the machine might be managing to actually to perform work. It might be functioning, like forcing itself to function, but there will be breakdown along the line if this is not being put in place. You must also get yourself familiarized with maintenance and troubleshooting of the machine that you are using. For example, the cleaning of your machine, regular cleaning and lubricating, is part of your maintenance. So there is no, hardly will you see a maintenance, a procedure that does not involve cleaning. Many of us do it a lot. I've seen mechanical guys performing maintenance of machine before. Most of them also use blowers. They use this compressed air blower. They use it to blow. What they do, they use it to blow dust. Electrical guys carry this a lot. In fact, there are some maintenance that you have sometimes back then in the industry. Sometimes then I used to have this feeling that how are we going to trek this far? Because if the operational vehicle is not available, you will trek. How are we going to trek? We may trek, climb stairs, just because we want to go and check on a particular electric motor. And the only thing we will do when we get to this electric motor is that, because I work in a cement plant, so the only thing we will do when we get to this place is that we want to see if the dust or cemented dust has covered the control panel or covered the push button or covered the terminals and everything. The only thing we'll do might just be to plug the blower and blow the dust away. That's all. So sometimes you just go and do that on operational check. You just want to check as the motor is operating or the machine is operating, and then you just you want to clean it. So cleaning is part of maintenance is very key. Lubricating, okay, is part of your maintenance and troubleshooting. And then you need to also understand that while you're actually carrying out maintenance, you need to also follow documentation. I'm going to talk about this. Documenting things that you do, the issues that arise and all that. Following the manufacturer's instructions when troubleshooting a machine is very important. I recall then, the first thing we'll do when a machine breaks down, bad thing is that we'll bring out the manual so that we can check the connections, the network diagram of that machine. So it will help you to know where to actually go. So it helps in the case of maintenance and troubleshooting, especially when you have a machine that has already broken down, which has run towards failure. Shutdown and storage, I've made mention of this. Every machine also has a way that you can shut them down. I'll give you an example of your gen at home. When you're shutting down your gen should actually be shut down on no load. Not when it is loaded. You have to shut it down. There is something I really want to achieve this night, and definitely we have to achieve it. That will now show you, if you have even been performing maintenance, many of us don't know. There are some machines that you see that it's every 3 days you go and perform maintenance on them. And there are some machines that it takes you 10 days for you to go and perform maintenance on them. Why? And as a person, how will you even determine on your own to know the proper time to actually check on the machine. That's what I will achieve tonight in the long run through what the calculations that you need to actually understand when it comes to machine maintenance. There are some calculations you need to understand, and they are very simple calculations that you need to know as an engineer, as a maintenance engineer. I'm just pushing that to the latter end of my class tonight. So this night I'm giving you the overview, okay, of what maintenance is, and then so that the practicals can actually begin. Practical illustrations and demonstrations can begin as from tomorrow. So this leads us to now talk about what the importance of maintenance across what industry. Why do we have to actually perform maintenance? I've mentioned this, but let me briefly mention it again. Now we perform maintenance for the sake of reliability. No one wants to work on a machine that is not reliable. For example, if you have a machine that normally shut down every 30 minutes, is that kind of machine good for operation? Of course, it will affect operation. There are some machines that I will tell you that I've worked in industry. There are some machines that run for days and weeks without shutting down. If you have worked in the cement industry before, you will know a machinery called kiln. Okay, KILN. The kiln will run, for weeks. It will run for weeks because the maintenance of kiln is not a small maintenance, because the temperature inside the kiln is about 1,450 degrees Celsius. Do you know what that is? 1,450 degrees Celsius. So anytime they shut down kiln, they shut it down. 4 days, we have not even gone near it. It's still cooling down. It will be cooling down before the personnel could even say they want to go in, because most of the problem inside kiln is that the bricks lay are there. One of them might have removed, because you'll be seeing it because of the control around it will be showing you that there's a problem. So they will run it to failure. They will run. There's a time that you run a machine to failure, like until it fails, so that you can perform the maintenance on it. So you can imagine a machine that it will take like almost 8 days to bring up anytime it's shut down. Just imagine that machine being a kind of machine that anytime it will use 8 days to bring it up, and it will use 3 days to run and shut down again. Is that an effective machine? That's not an effective machine. We don't need that kind of a machine across industry. But every industry will want a machine that can run for a long time before it actually breaks down, or before it may be purposely shut down for maintenance. So we perform maintenance because of reliability. Efficiency also. When you don't perform maintenance on most of these machines, they consume power. When there is friction on the machine due to improper lubrication, what will happen? Of course, we all know that friction is an opposing force. The machine will be drawing more power than necessary, and there will be a higher power consumption, because the higher friction on the moving parts that you have not lubricated well as a maintenance engineer. We also perform maintenance because of the longevity of the machine. You really want to increase the lifespan, or you want to maintain the lifespan of the machine, because without proper maintenance, there is no way. Okay, it's just like you as a person. Just imagine you are not maintaining your body, you are not taking your bath, you are not brushing. When you have a headache, you don't care. When you have stomachache, you don't care. Will you be able to live the lifespan that you're supposed to live? That's what happens to a machine also when we don't perform maintenance on them. Okay, so it is very important that maintenance also helps us for cost savings. You will save cost, because in maintenance we can properly say prevention is better than cure. A machine that, what you will lose as a company when the machine fail, that's the downtime it will cost. It will cost you more than what you spend on the maintenance. That's why you see that company don't joke with it. They said that there are some engineers that are actually doing a dubious thing on the machines. They will give you the oil because they don't want you to give them an excuse. You You will explain yourself what happened to that machine when it's thrown to failure, when it fails. They will give you every month. Is it that some of them don't know that what? Some engineers they don't use the oil in the for as lubricant, they don't finish the oil, some of them will top it up. You think that they don't know. They know. But it's just for them to hold you responsible. So the company want to reduce cost because downtime will cost them more than what maintenance will cost them. Good maintenance will also help us to improve our safety. We have gone through it. Increase productivity, reduce downtime. The lifestyle of the machine will be what? It will improve the quality of the products when we actually perform maintenance. And also it will make our environment to be friendly. Because when the maintenance is not properly done, trust me, you have some machines, they'll be emitting out will be poisonous gas and all that. But by proper maintenance, the emissions might actually be reduced. Okay, you will be able to control energy consumptions and all that. Briefly, let's now achieve, the latter part of this class tonight. In some ways, you will see that we have different aspects of maintenance across industry. So I've specifically map it out that this night I'm going to cover that. Now, the first one that I want to discuss briefly is preventive maintenance. They are not hard for us to really understand. What is preventive maintenance? Those are the scheduled maintenance. There are the machines that have been scheduled. They are working properly. But every three days, they will be shut down for maintenance. There are some machines that nothing concerns us that they are running. So you'll be wondering, why did they have to shut it down? Maybe it's working. You will understand when we do the calculation. Every 10 days, they will shut them down. This is preventive maintenance. Why? What is it preventing? We are preventing failure. We don't want the equipment to fail. We don't want to wait until it fails. We don't want to wait for faults. We are dealing with prevention is better than cure. So they are scheduled. As a maintenance personnel, these machines should be maintained every 3 days. You see some of them, they will just go there, they will not do the proper thing, they will not lubricate, they can just blow the dust and then they will leave. That's what it is itemized for them to do on that particular day is for them to maybe lubricate, retighten the bolts and nuts on the machines, check the alignment and all that they're supposed to do. Some of them will just do it. So once we return to office and they were discussing. Corrective maintenance will occur when we now have failure on the machine. Now this machine has failed. We have to repair the machine. So the repair that we carry out on the machine is what we term as corrective maintenance. We are not correcting our error. We are correcting the failure of the machine. So when we run the machine, when the machine fails, just suddenly fail, then we have to repair it. It might be a broken nut. It might be the bed actually caught. It happens, even for those who that drive. So that's corrective maintenance. Predictive maintenance. Okay. I was explaining about sensors and all that earlier. Maybe you are running a machine. The machine is still working perfectly. You see that on the sensor, perhaps maybe on the temperature meter, you see that it's showing a higher temperature. Like the one I gave you as an example of your car, and say that it's doing overheating. In most cases, when some cars are doing overheating, they are still moving. They will still be moving. It's not that it will not move. But you know that when it happens, I've experienced, fire outbreak on my car before. So I could relate. Okay? But that one was sudden. But this one, you may practically see that maybe the heat is building up. Maybe the fan, the cooling fan are not working and all that. You have to shut down the car. That is predictive. So the predictive is not based on your sensors. You look at your sensor, you see that the result the reading they are giving you is not really it's not really good like that. So we have to shut the machine because we already do not do this. So that's predictive. So we are predicting. You are envisaging. Okay? you are already having an overview that was, oh, expectation that what failure will definitely happen. So let's shut it down and what do the needful before the machine actually will fail on its own. And then we now have condition-based maintenance. What is condition-based? Condition-based, sometimes some people mistaking this for what? Predictive. Predictive has to do with what? The sensory aspect of the what? Machines. Let's say that what the sensors and what the controls are telling you. The data analysis around the machine. But this condition-based maintenance has to do with what? The physical condition of the machine. There's sometimes that as somebody that inspects what machines, like that my friend that told me that what she goes to fit to inspect, you may see a machine that is still working, but maybe a part of it is just dangling. You can tell them to shut it down and tighten that place. In their own mind, if you not affect the machine, it's still working. You tell them shut it down and tighten this thing. Because the condition is not looking good. So that is what the four, basic. So you see some people saying that, oh, maybe we have more than, but these are the four basic of what maintenance. We have what are preventive. We have the preventive, we have the corrective, we have the predictive, and we have the condition-based. It is very important, okay, because of when you are actually attending to some of the assessments, you show whether you have followed this training or not. Now, I will discuss the best practices, okay, briefly. What are the best practices for maintenance? Okay, it's good that you develop what? A maintenance work schedule. Like I've explained, there should be schedule on the machine. If we perform this maintenance today, when is the next time that we are going to perform this maintenance? So a schedule should be what? There should be a schedule maintenance, which is what? The preventive that we have talked about. It's also good that what? The maintenance guy should actually what? Be trained. I've explained this. It is also good that what? We should monitor what? The condition. That's the best practice. Monitor the condition of the what? Machines. And it's good to also implement what? A computerized maintenance management system. We call it CMMS. Computerized will actually let you know, you'll be able to actually see it electronically that what? These are the schedule of our maintenance. This is the last time that they maintain this machine. Many companies are not using this, and it's very, very bad. They do everything manually. And it makes most of these maintenance guys to actually escape doing their job. The CMMS will show you a machine, the last time it was maintained, who actually carried out the maintenance, when is the next time it's going to be carried out, and who is actually assigned for that maintenance. So it's kind of giving us what the inventory and the work orders of maintenance on the machine. This is a very good practice when it comes to maintenance culture in this industry. When the machine actually shut down, do not just jump into repair. Perform a root cause, a root cause analysis. I will see maybe during this course, it's a course on its own. Okay, we do this under our critical thinking course. There's a course under us that is called critical thinking. This is where you learn about what root cause. People jump into conclusion. They can just look at the machine and say, it's the temperature that is high. Just put oil. Whereas it might not be the oil that is actually the problem. What people will not know is that what something actually trigger the hike in that temperature of the machine. It might not be oil, because if you check the oil level, the temperature is high. You not check the oil level. I know that the oil level is okay, but you are popping the oil. Whereas when you are dealing with oil, in most of the machines, you will see low, you will see high. Okay, they will draw it there. You will see low, you will see high. That is what. This is how low the oil level should actually go. This is how high it should be. So even we top it up, thinking that maybe it's the oil, or you will start putting water and everything like that. So you need to, the root cause analysis will let you know deep down to what is actually what's affecting this machine. So maybe there is a particular part of the machine that is not functioning well, that is triggering what? The hike in what? Temperature. Continuous monitoring of machines have actually what? Explain this. Now, what are the consequences? The consequences of poor maintenance, of what? If you are not performing what? Good maintenance, they are not far-fetched from what I've discussed tonight. Equipment failure, you will experience it a lot. Safety risk, you can receive shock, it can cause somebody's hand. If there's a blade that you did not tighten very well, can give you a cut, it can affect you, it can injure you. Even if you think that you are conscious of it, that you will always run away from it. There will be a day that you become unconscious, you will not even know, and your hand will go there. Environmental impacts. emissions. If you don't properly take care or maintain your vehicle, you see them on the road. You know the kind of carbon monoxide that they actually bring out. When you see some car, they will be walking so cool, they will be moving fine. You don't even know that what exhaust is coming out of them. And you see some when they pass, everybody is actually causing what the driver or the car owner. Some machines are also like that. The way because of their maintenance, the maintenance will show. The emission can show us reduce productivity, increase costs. Of course, you will spend more on that particular machines if it's not properly maintained. All right. Yes, I want to. So let me see my. So I will talk about the tools. You know, I will begin with the tools tomorrow. I will talk about the city tomorrow. So tonight, let's talk about the maintenance metrics. I will end the class with maintenance metrics. You can see the moderator is already signaling at me. So let me just discuss the maintenance metrics. It's very important because I really want to achieve that. Okay. Now, what you must have had most of these terms. I want us to kind of within few times break it down. So you'll be hearing something like mean time before failures. What do we use this name for? Why are they so important for us in industrial maintenance? Okay, mean time to repair. You hear all those things. Okay, mean time before failure. Mean time to failure. Okay, so let me explain this thing. Okay, I will share my screen on another device. I will share my screen on another device. Okay. I think I'm sharing already. Can you see my screen? You can see my screen? Yes. Okay, thank you so much. All right. So, yes, thank you so much. I can see somebody giving me thumbs up. I like thumbs up. They give me joy. Okay. So let me explain. Okay, your screen don't figure yourself. Your screen was showing. You can't see it on your screen. You can't see my screen? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can't see your screen. Moderator, can you see my screen, sir?
Yes, I can see your screen, but on
You can't see me writing on the screen?
I can see you. It's good. Good.
Yes. I'm using whiteboard actually. I just want to explain MCTR. Okay. That is a mean time. We call it mean time to repair. You know, so if we use this R can be to repair. You can see to resolve. So you can call it to respond. Okay. We also have what we call MTBF. Okay. So mean time before failure. Okay. We also have what we call MTTF, mean time to failure. Okay. Mean time to failure. Okay. So let me first tell us what we use this for, and then the calculations. I think I will have to begin to know with the calculation. I want to tell you the beauty of this. Now, what is the beauty of this? Now, mean time to repair actually is a measure that industry use to know how responsive their team is when it comes to bringing up a machine after it has failed. I hope you are getting my point now. Like a machine actually failed. How long, if our machine failed, how long will it take our guys, our maintenance guys, or our operation guys to bring this machine up. Let's say they want to perform any repair on it. How long will it take them? Is it 5 minutes? Is it 1 hour? Is it 2 hours? This will give you an idea of how reliable our team is and how fast they can bring up a machine so that our production will not be affected. So that is what we use mean time to repair. You know, you can call it to repair. That's how you can see to repair, to resolve, to respond. They all mean the same thing. So it is still what MTTR. You know, in cyber aspect of work, you might have seen this a lot. Let's say somebody actually hacked into our system. How long does it take us to regain our system back, to recover? That's MTTR. Okay? If our machine shut down now, how long will it take our engineers to bring it up? That's MTTR. Every company actually has this. And in most cases, it is peculiar to what each machine is. I'm going to be giving you calculations, calculated examples. If I even bring, you know, some of you can actually interact with me and bring some, you use the machines that you are working with, and we're going to calculate for you to see that, oh, this is how you will know how reliable that machine is, and I will actually guide you on the proper maintenance on that machine. What about mean time before failure? Mean time before failure, by the time you calculate it, you will know that this is the time that we know that a machine can run comfortably and successfully before it actually shut down. There are some people that do not pay attention to this. The company don't joke with it. We want to know how long a machine will run before it will fail. That if you do not touch it, it will actually what? Fail. So imagine a machine that you know that what? If it runs for 3 hours, it will shut itself down. No matter what you do, after 3 hours, this machine will fail. That's why you see that what? Company will never joke with it. They will say, every 2.5 hours, they will tell the engineer that they must perform what? Preventive maintenance. Do you see this now? This is the calculation that we do. That's why you see that what? There are some machines, every 3 days, they will shut them down. They are shutting them down based on their what? MTBF, mean time before failure. Because we know that what? If that machine run and exceed 3 days, it will shut down, it will fail. So instead of it to fail, they will say purposefully shut it down. Maybe the MTBF of the machine is 4 days. We are going to say that what? After 3 days, shut it down and perform maintenance on it. When you put it in order, then it can run for another what? 3 days before we shut it down again. But if it should fail on its own, you know it will damage some of the part of the machines, and that will take us a longer time to bring up. So the maintenance will cost us less than the downtime. So we'll show you how that calculation is actually what done, you know, from our next class. What about mean time to failure? We want to see what is the lifespan of the machine. This is what this one will tell you. The lifespan of this machine, we normally use this to determine the lifespan of the machine. There's a machine, we know that no matter how you maintain it, it cannot work, have you more than 5 years. How do we calculate this? It's also based on calculation. So you have those machines in industry. You that you are working there may not know. But if you have the knowledge of all this, you can see that what there are some machines that, whether you like it or not, they will just say, okay, they are installing a new one, they are replacing it. In your own mind, the former one is actually working, but you will not know that what definitely they already know the MTTF of that machine. And instead of you to actually wait until it fails, you know that there's a machine that what once it spends like 5 years, it is better that you replace it with a new one. Because the lifespan has already said by the manufacturer that what it will only last for what about what 5 years in good condition. I really advise people that do our safety course. I'll say, okay, fine. Whether your helmet is okay or not, once you use your helmet for 3 years, change it. Your safety boots, no matter how good it is, I maintain the ground that what you should at least try to change it yearly, or you have more than one that you are using that you can be using interchangeably. Depending on even where you are working, that can weaken what you are using as PPE. So there are many people that they may be looking good. You know, I even have some some industrial workers that will go and replace their helmet. They do not know that what the adhesive that they are using on the helmet will weaken it again. So These three calculations are very important for us if you must understand industrial maintenance. And that is why you must not miss that word calculation, so that you will be sure, certain that when you are dealing with a machine, you will know why a machine is being shut down 3 days after operating for 3 days. They will shut it down for maintenance, and some they will run for like 10 days, they will shut it down. That is because of their what? MTBF, mean time before failure. And for us to know how long it will take us to bring up a machine, we calculate what the MTTR, mean time to repair, to respond, to resolve. And for us to know the lifespan of a machine, we calculate what the MTTF. These are the practical things. Mean time to failure. You know, they do this a lot. If you see the company that are into that make all these bulb that you are using, it's because you don't read the employer. If you put your bulb there, okay, there's some bulb, they will tell you that what they cannot work more than 3 months. They will blow, they will blow up. Exactly all those filament bulb. In fact, they are now worse these days. There's all that immediately you even put it in Lapoda. In the next 1 hour, it's already out. Because right now, almost everything is fake. There is fake of every product. It might not even be the company that's making it. So you might actually be making a parallel product like fake of its kind. But when you know the MTTF of a machine, you will not be surprised that you know that, oh, this thing can actually pack up. In the next 3 years, it will be due for me to replace it. So, moderator, I'm so sorry for taking a longer time. So let me stop there tonight, and then we'll continue tomorrow. So we'll begin with this calculation tomorrow. Thank you so much for staying in tune with me. Thank you.
All right. I want to appreciate our trainer, Mr. James Fanny, for that very, very engaging lecture. Let me try to bring up my... All right, so our time is fast spent. It's 3 minutes to the hour of 4. Do we have questions? Let's quickly get to that to see what we can do. So please, if you have questions, just signify by raising your hands. So I'll call on you to ask your question. So questions. Quickly, let's take that. Any other person? Let's signify so that when I'm calling on you, I know that I know the number of persons I'm dealing with. So nonetheless, if I didn't call on you in this live class, so please, you can drop your questions on the WhatsApp platform. So we'll do well to respond to them after the end of the class, after we might have dismissed from this class. All right. Okay, so Godwin Omorege, you have the floor. Please unmute your mic.
Yeah. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator, and thank you, our amiable instructor. In fact, it was a really dealt with a series, the topic of discussion. So please, a quick one. I want him to throw light on the difference between mean time between repair and mean time before repair. Are they the same thing, or there are difference? There are two different metrics.
All right. Okay, thank you very much for your question. So like the trader did mention, that is going to be discussing in detail tomorrow. So you don't want to miss tomorrow's class. Yeah, I'm very sure, because that's what it ended with. So the difference between those metrics, maintenance metrics, is going to be diving into that tomorrow. But I'll still note your question so that in the course of tomorrow's class, you will see that yes, everything is all encapsulated in his lecture tomorrow. So please don't miss tomorrow's class. All right. Do you have any other question? Any other question? Those joining us via the YouTube live, we have questions from there. Okay, can we be having the diagrams of the machines they are teaching? Well, at the beginning of the class, some machines were made reference to, and we saw a few diagrams of those machines. So irrespective of the machine, maintenance that we are talking about cuts across all industrial machines. So all these things that is being taught in this class, they are applicable to every industrial machinery, so irrespective of which one they are. All right. So I think that answers your question, Azan Sharif. That's the participants on the YouTube live. All right. Okay.
Yes,
So
sir. Yes, sir. My question has been answered.
Is that Azan Sharif? Kindly signify so I know.
Yes, sir. It's me, sir.
All right. Please
It's
go ahead.
Hassan Sharif, sir.
All right.
Please, can I ask a question?
If you want to ask a question, I said signify by using your hands. So I call on you. You don't have to unmute, please. Just signify, so I'll call on you if you have a question. Azan Sharif, you have the floor.
Sir?
Do you still have a question, Azan Sharif, aside from what you dropped on the YouTube comment section?
Not yet, sir.
All right,
sir.
Thank you. Okay, so the other person, someone was speaking before. Sorry, I didn't capture your name. The person that said he has a question. All right, so in the absence of any, I want to say a very big thank you to everyone who took part in today's class. Yet it's a privilege having you all on board. So the class continues tomorrow. So at the end of day 3 of this training, we are going to be dropping the assessment link. So please, everything that is being taught, you want to take notes. Everything, the questions that you'll be coming in contact with in the course of you engaging the assessments are all what has been taught in this class. So please, if you've been having network issues, you dropped out of the class at some point, we are going to be dropping the recorded video, so you can do well to rewatch in order to have a clear understanding of those things that were talked on in today's class. Yeah, so most class is going to be very interesting. So we are going to be going into some calculations, discussing the maintenance aspects of industrial machinery safety, and a whole lot. So there's still a whole lot we have in stock for you. All right. So please don't miss tomorrow's class. We actually took attendance of those in class. So please, further information instructions regarding the attendance, we'll make it known to you on the WhatsApp platform. So I just hope that yes, the participation we had in today's class will be encouraging, and we wouldn't have to lock anyone out of tomorrow's class. All right. So on that note, I want to say thank you. But before we leave, let me just call on one person to give us a feedback of today's class. Okay. Kayode Abdulatif. Kayode Abdulatif, you can hear me? We'd love to get your feedback of the class. Can you unmute your mic? Kayode Abdulatif. Ademola Odunayo, can you hear me? Ademola Odunayo. All right, thank you very much. Who is speaking? Is that Kayode?
Osho Abdulatif Kayode.
All right, please. All right, let's have your feedback. Let's have a feedback from the class.
Today's class was actually very informational, and I didn't even expect it to be this detailed. The moderator, the instructor, every single part of the lesson was actually worth the time. I jotted a lot of important things to note. Even someone that's not familiar with industrial machineries and machines would have a lot to gain from today's class, and I look forward to gaining more insight and experience from other classes.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Kayode Abdulatif. We appreciate your feedback of the class so far. All right, so thank you very much, everyone. So we won't be able to take much of your feedback. So please, as we are ending the class, please go on the WhatsApp platform, drop your feedbacks on the platform. We would love to have them there. Although there's a feedback link that we should drop, I'll see if we can do that on the WhatsApp platform. But nonetheless, as we are ending the class, please go on the WhatsApp platform, drop your feedback so that everyone who went in today's class can actually, have the urge or that zeal to, join in tomorrow's class. All right, so please let us do that. So thank you very much, everyone. So see you again in tomorrow's class. So till then, do have a productive and restful evening. Bye-bye, everyone. You can unmute your mic and tell me bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Thank you
Thanks.
very much.
Thanks.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much, sir. Really appreciate it.
Bye, sir.
Goodbye, Mr. Thank you so much, Mr. Kennedy Samson.